Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's face shave time. Back to the Stallion's Gold Dollar 100. I'm going to be using face fat shaving soap today. Same stuff that I used for my head shave. I had a superb head shave with a leaf razor again today with brand new Gillette super thin blades. And this one is ice orange, mentholated as it says down here in very small writing. Oh, it smells brilliant. If you smelled orange chill from Sterling, this is pretty much what it smells like. It's not quite as mentholated, but there's enough in here that it's a beautiful kick of menthol. Put a bit of water on now. Right, now, I've got stuff to talk about. I'm going to pop a little video on now, just showing you an issue that I've found with this Gold Dollar 100. I don't know whether it is across the board they're all like this, but the one that Anthony Esposito, the Stallion, sent me over has this issue, and it doesn't, you'll see in the video. I'll put it on now. Alright, so here we are, just for a comparison. I'm going to pop down my Feather Artist Club. Now, as you can see, it stands up like that. Now, it's very well built. It is injection moulded once again on the base, but it's a cracking razor and it looks lovely, and you can set it up like that. Now, obviously, this is over $100. Then you've got your Gold Dollar. Now, with this one, so as you can see there, look, the steel feels great. It shaves nice. It even looks pretty good. It's not from a distance it looks okay. In your hand, it's nowhere near the quality of a high quality artisan razor, or you know, like a Henkel's or anything like that. But what I find with this is, you probably can't tell, but the scales are so poorly stitched together that you can't actually stand at that. So that's both sides of the scales touching. You can see the angle on that. That's them both touching there. That is pretty much where it needs to be. So it's, I can't even stand it up to take a photograph. I've got to hold it up or lean it up against a soap, as I've done for the photograph for this video, or lean it up against something, because it just will not sit up because of that. See if I can show you. Don't know whether that'll pick it up or not. Don't know whether you can see that the bottom edge of the rear part of the scales is actually sticking down further. You can see it quite clearly there actually. It's sticking down quite a few millimetres, and what it does is obviously causes it to topple over. That's all I wanted to show you, so I'll pop back to the shave. Cheers. But as you can see, it doesn't stand up very well. The scales just aren't great on it. They are cheaply made injection moulded plastic. Sorry, my brush today is my Wolf Whiskers Purple Haze. I can't remember. I can't remember the style of this handle. Honestly, I don't remember. But it's Purple Haze, and it's got a 25mm Black Wolf fan knot, which you can no longer get. It's a great knot, it's a brilliant knot. Feels fantastic on the skin. They're very soft, the Black Wolf knots. They're very much tuxedo knots from AP Shave Co. Very, very soft, not much backbone, not really any scrub to be felt, but they create a phenomenal lather. So yeah, back to the straight. Now, I don't have a strop at the moment. I sold all my straight stuff sort of right at the beginning when I broke my arm and other things were happening, and it was just going to be too much hassle for me, I think, to keep going and get them honed and things. But Anthony Esposito, the Stallion, top bloke, sent me over this razor. Now, I spent a fortune sending it, and the only real downside to it is the scales. The blade itself, albeit it doesn't look as neat and tidy and as lovely to look at as the Henkel's that I had or the Druidic, it's not. But it looks like reasonably good quality steel. I have watched Anthony, the Stallion, I have watched him use it for, I think he used it for 100 shaves or something. God, that scent is phenomenal. So yeah, the Gold Dollars, they hold an edge. The edge on this, to my naked eye with glasses on, looks spot on, perfectly straight. It'll look a little bit different on both sides, but either way, I managed to shave with it reasonably well. It felt smooth enough that I could shave. Now, it's probably not as smooth as I would like it, but as everyone who uses straight razors will know, every edge is different and they're not all going to work for you. They'll work for some people and they won't work for others. Even though it doesn't look like it, I've got very tough hair, so the blade really needs to be super sharp. I'm not saying this isn't super sharp, but it needs to be like DE razor sharp, close to at least. I know it never can be, but that's close to. Now this one has been honed on an Ozuku Mizu Japanese natural stone, which by all intents and purposes is one of the best natural stones available, I think. I did not a lot of research, but I read up on it a little bit, and it is highly regarded as one of the best stones available on the market for honing your straight razors. Is it the best? Yeah, it's the best for whoever it works for. But for me, I don't think it is. I think it's a good stone. I think it's got a good edge, and it shaves about 70% of how I want it. Probably I need it another 20% more for it to be pretty much where I need it. Now, no doubt I'll have people saying, no, that's what it's meant to be, blah, blah. They're all going to feel different for everyone. Double-edged razor blades are the same. People love Feathers, people love Astras, people love Darbys, Gillettes. It's whatever works for your beard type and your skin in the razor that you put it in. Of course, I can use a feather blade in my carve and it's okay, it's pretty good. But then I could use it in, say, a Mergress, and it's wonderful. It just depends on the razor, the angles that the blades are put in, how the blades are designed. So straight razor shaving is very similar. It has to work for you, it has to be the right edge. That being said, it's pretty cool having one of the Stallion's razors in the den. He's been on YouTube for a long time, he's got a good following, he's a funny guy to watch. He says it as it is, and I like that. And he's got that sort of crazy sort of Italian-American arrogance about him. The sort of mafia mob sort of thing where when you watch the good fellas or whatever it is, all that's The Godfather. Which of course will rub some people up the wrong way. Right, I think there's enough moisture in it. Oh, I don't want to throw it away, this lather's incredible, look at that, how good is that? It's a bit airy at the base of the knot down here, but the actual lather up the top is just stupendous. So once I am done here, I'll be picking up my book, which is a Matthew Riley book, and it's the first book he ever wrote, and I can't remember the name of it. It's right behind me on the bed. I'm going to start reading that. And since Friday, it's now Sunday, I've done 270 push-ups. Trying to build my body back up, build a bit of strength in my shoulders, my arms, and trying to build them up again. And most importantly, trying to put a bit of strength back in my wrist in some way or another, because it's starting to really get to me now. Being stuck at home is difficult enough as it is, but when you're not feeling 100% because of a niggling thing that's going on in your wrist, it's very frustrating. And believe me, my circumstances are nothing compared to others. My gran, who is 91 this year in August, has been taken into hospital a few days ago, and she's had a hernia which is wrapped around her not her intestines, I can't remember, but it's wrapped around, something's burst, and she's leaking poison into her body. So she's slowly dying. She was dying anyway, she's 91, everyone's dying. But it looks like it's just a matter of when and not if now. She's 91, she's in hospital, she's got dementia and Alzheimer's, so she doesn't really know where she is, she doesn't really know anyone there. But the biggest thing, the most heartbreaking thing, I mean, I'm in Australia, thousands of miles away, but the family aren't allowed to go and see my dad. My aunties and uncles can't go and see her because of the coronavirus, so she's in hospital, albeit she's got no idea why she's there, where she is, whether she's meant to be there, what she's there for, but she's there on her own. The only upside is she talks to her brothers and sisters who have been long dead, so I'm pretty sure she's with someone, she'll be having a conversation with someone in there. She's got a very strong heart, very strong woman, and at 91 she's had a good crack at life, but she's on that last stretch now, and it's pretty hard to take. So considering what I'm going through at the moment with regards to having a sore wrist, and that's about it, I've not really got any qualms, have I? I'm sort of whinging over nothing. Right, gold dollar, 100, honed by the Stallion, Anthony Esposito, with the injection moulded super cheap plastic scales that don't match up very well. It's a very cheaply, nastily made razor, it really is, and I don't think Anthony says otherwise. What he basically is trying to show people is that with a cheap razor that's got good steel, you can create an edge that can shave for a long time and will give you great shaves, like a $600-700 expensive razor. Right, so I've just dipped it in the warm water. I'm going to pull my skin up here, like so, my right hand. Now, I still have quite bad shakes because I'm aching everywhere from doing press-ups. And here we go. I've definitely got enough hydration in it, it's just melted off. Now, how does it feel? It feels, it's kind of, it feels smooth-ish. It's smooth enough that it's cutting the hair. But it's not as smooth as the Druidic or the Henkels that I had. Now, I don't know who honed the Henkels. I know Drew honed the Druidic. So on that part here, I would expect it just to melt through the hair, but it's not. I'm having to push it through. Now it's still cutting reasonably smooth. And this time I've got 1, 2, 3 weepers, just little ones, not as big as that massive one that I created down there last time. But of course, I don't feel like I'm shaking quite as much today. So here we go, let's pull this side up there. I never get as close a shave with this as I do it now. Another thing I don't like about this, I like to have my pinky finger on it, so I'm sort of just touching it on there. I like to have the longer tang, I think that's called a tang. I like to have a longer one. This side of the blade, in my left hand, is smoother, definitely smoother than the right side. Now that could be that I've maybe munted the blade edge a little bit with stropping it. see that? Skip, 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 all the way along. That's because I'm having to force it through, it's not just melting through the hair. And obviously that can be a major issue in terms of cutting yourself. Yeah, it's just sort of I'm just struggling with it. Right. I'm going to hold it right there. I think, really, for me, that's pretty damn good. Like, I've got 3 days growth, 2 days growth? 2 days growth, sorry. Let me not make this look better than it really is. 2 days growth. It's definitely sharp enough to shave with. I don't feel like it's causing me major issues with irritation or anything like that. Just gonna find out around a little bit of water. Oh, it feels pretty nice. That feels way better than it did after that first shave. And I've knocked down the biggest majority of it. Now, I will lather up again, and I will this time tackle a little bit more across the grain with it, just to see how I go. You know something, as much as I love my rhodium knot and my shave mat, my board brushes and things like that, they're really lovely brushes. There's nothing beats the feel and the lather creation from a synthetic. You just, for me, you can't beat it. Menthol is beautiful. It's a little bit humid here today, not super humid, but a little bit. A little bit of menthol goes a long way on a day like this. Right, let's pick up the old straight again. I'll rinse it in the nice warm water, and then, like so, pull the ear back and you can just see it stretches the skin just a little bit. And then we'll tuck it in here. You can see I've pretty much got all that off there, which is what you want. It doesn't feel as close as it did last time, believe it or not. Right, now obviously can't go across the grain on your neck. This is where it becomes hard for me because this is pretty much upstrokes and I'm not very good at it, and it's almost against the grain. Yeah, it's not cutting much. Yes, it's sort of doing something, I think. That was reasonably smooth. Yeah, it's doing nothing there. It's not even cutting hair there. Is it technique? Possibly. There's definitely going to be a little bit of technique because I'm not a technically gifted razor straight, yeah, know what I mean? Feels like this side is doing a little bit better. Shoot my left hand over here. I don't really know what I'm doing now. Right, I'm just going to stop there. This is going to be a case of practice, 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 and then practice a bit more. But overall, that's not a bad crack for me. I've got no major bleeding. And we'll finish off now with a good old carve and probably leave 35 weepers. Doesn't feel anywhere near as raw as it did that first shave. Right, so we shall finish with the carve Christopher Bradley razor with a third use Derby Extra, which has been feeling fantastic. Is it still feeling fantastic? Damn, it feels amazing. Like, surprisingly, there's not much hair down here. Now, by my standards, that was very close before I touched it with a carve. So far, so good. Loads of residual slickness. The scent is just hanging around. It's brilliant. Beautiful menthol orange. I know I'm lathering my full neck again and face. I'm doing it mainly just for the bit of menthol because it's not enough menthol that it burns. It's just enough where it feels superb. You know what I mean? Right, I shall Easily one of the closest shaves I've ever had. Wow, that was against the grain on a lot, with no real feeling of the blade or any pain. I mean, I'm going to have a few little weepers. Let's see how we go. Then again, not really that much. Got one there, couple there, that's about it. Whew. What a shave. Right, I am going to finish off, just wet my hands, with Australian Private Reserve, AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentration Serum. Yes, that's a mouthful. One squirt on wet hands. Of course, with face fat shaving soap, you don't really have to use it. The post shave is exceptional, but that makes it even better. It's really good stuff. I've been quite impressed with it. Right, shaving soap, face fat, made by Craig Stanway over here in Australia, and the scent on this one is a limited edition iced orange, which smells very much like orange chill from Stallion. Fantastic scent, fantastic soap. And as we can see, I've got one weeper there. That's really it. That's a real close shave for me. That's really close. The Gold Dollar 100, honed by Anthony Esposito, the Stallion. You can check his channel out. Really nice bloke. We've been chatting, sort of. I didn't think we were on the same page, but we quite clearly sort of are. He sent that over to me, and I'm going to continue to use it. Probably not quite as much as the two I've used recently, because I don't have a strop for it, so I don't want to completely ruin the edge on it. But that was, on a scale of 1 to 100 on how close that is to a perfect shave for me, in terms of feel and sharpness and all that, I would say it's around about a 60 or 65 out of 100. It's sharp enough to shave, it's smooth enough that it's not uncomfortable, but it's not quite there for me. Possibly a different stone or a different finishing stone, or I don't know, a different technique or a different hone altogether, I don't know, but it's still very good. Now the brush was my Purple Haze Wolf Whiskers with the 25mm Black Wolf fan knot. Just a stunning brush. Now Peter Wolf doesn't pour this resin, he buys it from Europe. I don't know whether he still has it or not, but it's wonderful. Beautiful brush, beautifully made. I did finish off the shave today with the carved Christopher Bradley razor, and as you saw, I managed to go against the grain pretty much everywhere with no issues. And that feels fantastic. And with that, there's not much more I can say. Thanks again to Anthony for sending over the razor. I will continue to use it. It will stay in the den, this one, as it is a gift. And I'll probably send it out for a different home at some point when I can afford it, when the coronavirus dies down a little bit, and see if I can find something that works for me on it. It's definitely going to be a great razor for finding what works for you. It's cheap enough that you can ruin it or do something to it and you can replace it, rather than a $600 razor, however much the expensive ones are sometimes. And with that, oh sorry, I did finish off with this Australian Private Reserve Restoration Peptide Concentration Serum. For me so far, it's a beautiful product. It works very well. Wet hands, one squirt, you can't go wrong. Put it on neat with 2 pumps, it's a little bit sticky and tacky, but 1 squirt of water and I find it works perfectly. That's What a shave. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.